always give it a second to kick in. I'm trying a new angle on the camera. I don't know why I talk about personal stuff at the beginning of these, but I do. I'm wearing a really dope hat today, actually, so we should all appreciate that. But today I wanted to quickly talk about something that's coming up. I start every vlog with today I want to talk about something that's coming up a lot. The reality is that a lot of things come up every day. I have discussions with people every day about digital strategy, so things are always coming up. I'm gonna work on that. Anyways, today I am talking about scaling digital ad spend. Quite often, and something that has come up, and it does come up a lot, is, well, if I'm spending $750 a month on Google AdWords right now, and I'm getting this amount of leads, couldn't I just double that spend on Google AdWords and then get double the leads? Now, I should preface the conversation with, yes, scaling works. I always advocate for scaling based on data, but the reality is that it's not always that simple. In some cases it is, depending on your product offering or your service. A lot of e-commerce type strategies where it's, you have an online store and you're selling something, you drop shipping maybe, or just selling products online. Sometimes just simply scaling your budget can work. It's a numbers thing, but in most cases, it's not going to work. You'll double your budget and you will not double your leads, your inbound leads or your conversions. And it's because you need to get a little deeper than that when you start looking at the data. So you have to remember, when you simply increase a budget on a platform like Google AdWords or whatever the spend may be, and programmatic ad buys are way different, and I won't get into that now. This is just for your generic digital marketing. But when you simply increase the budget on Google AdWords, that is just telling Google to go out and spend more money and use the data it has to try and optimize the ads for the algorithm to get you more buyers, get you more conversions, whatever the target or the objective might be. But that doesn't necessarily always work because your budgets are spread out between multiple geographic locations. Your budgets are set up to go to different devices, different messaging, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of depth there to simply scaling your ads. So the tactics I always recommend are, if you are in a spot where you're getting a decent amount of leads or conversions from a Google ad spend or wherever the case may be, and you're ready to start applying more spend to that to get more results, is to really get into the data. So, if you're working with an agency or someone that's running ads for you, the first step that they should be doing is looking at the actual results of the data is showing. Who's converting, what time of day, what day of the week, what type of placements, what type of websites of your ads are showing up, or what search queries and specific keywords are actually scaling, and combining all that data and kind of matching it up to understand really where the conversions are happening. Because the reality is, and this has happened, I've worked through this before, where a company is maybe targeting 2 cities in a campaign, and one city's converting and the other's not, because that other city has a competitor that is at a price point that you just really can't compete with for that product. So there's no sense in simply just doubling the spend on that geographic location, because it's not going to increase the fact that there's another competitor out there with a better price point and people are doing their research. So there's a lot of factors into simply scaling your digital ads, and it all starts with the data. So I just, the important message to know and to be out there is that, just doubling your ad spend doesn't always necessarily translate into doubling your leads, conversions, or sales. It needs to be thought through, and you need to utilize the data that's available. Sometimes your messaging might need to be updated. If you think about it, if you have a very specific niche and there's an audience pool that's not huge, the likelihood is, if you're running display campaigns, that people are seeing your ads multiple times. Well, what's differentiating one ad from another in key messaging? So you really need to work through that as you scale your spend. Boom!